Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Sorry. You're like shaking your head like, oh, I want to do that over again.
Yeah. Off to a rough start.
Oh, you bastard.
I gotta throw you curveballs every now and then.
This is Patrick, a.k.a. the Ruiner.
Nice.
We're here to talk about Alien.
That's right.
Not Z.
No Z.
This is my first viewing of the Alien movie.
Yeah.
Previously I'd seen AVP and Prometheus. So
I guess that's an okay way to go. So,
I mean, I was
go
familiar
into it.
with Alien and
Yeah.
Aliens. I've seen like iconic moments.
Right.
Yeah, like the exosuit in the second one.
Oh, yeah.
The chest burst from Spaceballs, and it's in there. I like the Spaceballs.
Bringing it
one
all
better.
back around.
It danced.
Oh, really?
Hello, my baby.
Oh,
Hello.
I think I've seen that.
Way better.
Yeah, I've never. I think what got me into Alien was Alien versus Predator because she and I got like advanced screening tickets to go see Alien versus Predator. I mean, this is going back. I don't know when that one came out, like over 10 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
So we were going to go see it, and I, at that point, had never watched Alien. I had seen Predator 1 and 2,
Yeah.
but had never watched Alien. So we watched Alien and really enjoyed it, And then cut to now, I think I've only watched Alien one other time. So as far as Alien goes, I've only this is my third time watching it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like, I felt like the Predator was on TV more.
Yeah, definitely.
I never remembered Alien being on TV ever.
Yeah. Well, I think Predator's one of those good, just straight up action movies that you can play it on a Sunday afternoon, gets a lot more traction.
Yeah, this is a dark movie.
It is, yeah.
I mean, literally and
Yeah.
content-wise, it's pretty dark.
Super serious tone and yeah.
So you want to get into the first act?
Let me do the synopsis real fast.
Whoa. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
After a space merchant vessel perceives an unknown transmission as a distress call, their landing on the source planet finds one of the crew attacked by a mysterious life form. Continuing their journey, this just goes on and on.
Essentially, some guy is a jackass and brings in a guy that has a space crab stuck to his face.
Yeah.
And then debates ensue. Space crab does
Turns
stuff, and then something gets loose in the ship.
Yeah.
Cat becomes a real a-hole, and it's a struggle to keep this thing from Earth.
Yeah.
You're
That sums it up pretty well. I didn't expect that synopsis to just continuously keep going, so... So yeah, we're talking about Alien, 1979, directed by Ridley Scott.
And we have Sigourney Weaver, pre-Ghostbusters.
Yep. It's actually a lot of good actors in this.
Yeah. Hurt. Was it
John Hurt, Ian Holm.
Yep.
And then we got Yaphet Kotto. You probably wouldn't recognize him since he's not inflated like a balloon in a James Bond movie. It's Kananga from Live and Let Die. Yeah.
I know. I was like, he looks familiar. I know
Yep.
it's not anyone I can think of off the top of my head.
Yep.
That's him. And man, all right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the first act,
Yeah.
which we've decided is from the beginning until about the time the crab leaves the face?
Yeah, but when the face hugger is mysteriously gone from Kane.
Now you keep saying face hugger. Is that what people
That's
call it?
officially what it's called, yeah.
Okay, I call
you
it
got the
space
face
crab.
hugger, the chest burster, the Xenomorph, which is the alien. What else? The space jockey is when they get to the bridge of the alien craft, the dead alien pilot. That's called, like, officially called space jockey.
Wow.
It's like a nickname that just, after 30 years just stuck. And since you're giving me shit earlier about Star Wars, the planet they land on is Acheron. Ugh.
Acheron.
That's right.
Of course it is.
So, you want to jump into what your first point on Act 1 is?
Yeah, first of three, I got... let me do this. First point, Act 1. You're welcome.
Fade in.
Right off the bat, I thought of Star Wars
Okay.
because of the ship entrance.
Yep.
So I don't know if they stole that because it was such a big hit with the Star Wars movie. But I immediately thought, oh, okay, they're using like the Star Wars under the ship kind of viewpoint, and it was kind of cool. I don't think it was done as well.
Right.
Because you could, it gave me like a Mystery Science Theater kind of look.
Okay.
Because I could tell it was a miniature.
Yeah.
Especially because I think they were going for too large a scale.
Oh, okay.
Because they're supposed to have like 20 billion tons of
the ship's supposed to be
it's like a refinery.
800 feet long, and it's towing a ship or a refinery that's like 1.5 miles long. So
I think the scale is just...
Okay.
I was expecting it to be... I just knew right away that it told me too much information of what to expect.
Okay.
And I think that hindered the view.
Yeah. I kind of clued into the effects and the matte paintings they used for like the planet and the bigger ship as a whole. It's interesting, seeing those effects now, post Star Wars, probably not done quite as well as Star Wars, but it still holds up.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just having just watched Star Wars like we had.
Yeah.
It was more noticeable. I think it would have been fine if I had some gap in there, but that was my first noticeable point though. What about you?
Let's see.
No pressure.
Yeah, I gotta pare all my notes down to 1 to 3 points. I right off the bat, the tension and suspense, like even just in seeing the ship, and then when the crew wakes up, and before we even get to the planet, it's like the tension is so like palpable, I guess.
Well, you're
instantly waiting for the alien just to jump out and rip out your throat. And I think it's just the way Ridley Scott is like the filming, and just the way everything's kind of slowly paced, and it's just nice and suspenseful. You don't know what's going to happen, and it just feels like it's going to get, the action's going to get ramped up any second, and so in a good way, it's just very suspenseful from the get-go. So
yeah, I was there until they started talking about what Mother said and why.
Yeah.
Well, Mother, a.k.a. Blinky Clicky Light Computer.
Yeah.
And that she picked up a signal.
Right.
So then I knew, okay, we're not at that alien point yet. We are going to it.
Yeah.
What's happening now, baby?
Well, some of you may have figured out we're not home yet. We're only halfway there.
What?
Mother's interrupted the course of our journey.
Why?
Yeah. She's programmed to do that should certain conditions arise. They have.
Like what?
Seems she has intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out.
A transmission? Out here?
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission?
Acoustical beacon. It repeats at intervals of 12 seconds.
SOS?
I don't know.
Human?
Unknown.
So yeah, but the whole time I was like, because they all seem confused as to why they're awake.
Sure, they were woken up early.
Like, where are they?
Yeah,
and
I kind of like that. I guess the notion of deep space travelers would use that it's not cryogenic, but it's some kind of deep hibernation.
Yeah.
Just to get from point A to point B to cut out that waiting time, kind of like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
Okay.
Even down to their lack of clothing.
Yeah.
It was like, what was it? I remember thinking when I saw them opening the pods that, man, wouldn't you get like bed sores laying in the same spot?
Yeah.
Because they're like really tight in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got some kind of like memory foam.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Air and moving stuff around. And then,
probably some kind of technology that would, prevent them from getting like.
And it halts bodily functions or something.
Maybe.
Because they're all wearing white. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Could have some pee stains. See, I'm the realist here.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a brave call wearing white while you sleep for months.
I guess
I was going to leave a mess.
The two ladies in the cast had to wear like surgical tape over their nipples at the beginning.
I was about to say.
Beginning. I guess because some countries where they were going to release the film, it was like you couldn't have them.
Well, I didn't even see I couldn't even tell who was a lady in that round.
Yeah, not at first.
So, because especially at the end, I thought they would have been wearing like a tank top.
Yeah.
Like she does at the end.
Right.
Spoilers.
Damn it, you ruined the whole thing.
I just said she. You don't know which one made it.
Right. Let's see. You got a second point?
Yeah. It's kind of one of my big what the hells. They all go down to the planet. Nobody stays in the main. Like that was weird to me. It
does seem weird.
The fact that their ship broke so easily.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? I thought it was going to be like this tough. It's a refinery vessel meant for exploring.
Yeah.
And it lands funky and breaks. Like it puts a hole in the hull. Ooh, that was a fun way to say that. Hole in the hole.
The hole in the hole.
But yeah, I thought it was odd that they all went into this exploration vessel. Yeah. Why the hell would you do that? I know there was argument that, if whoever doesn't get paid.
Right.
But
yeah, because you got the two like maintenance guys that are bitching about their cut
about
not being equal to someone else's cut. But it's like, why wouldn't they part of the team break off and go down to the planet?
Yeah, because you want to have a rescue. Like, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, literally.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Because there's only 6 crew members, so even if they left 2 people up in space, sent down 4 people, and then only 3 people then would go on the,
It's just a poor rescue mission.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have nobody to rescue the rescuers.
Yeah, it is. I never thought about that, but that's a good...
I thought about it as soon as they started going, and I was like, if something happens, they're screwed. And then something happened, and they're screwed.
That is weird, yeah.
Unless,
maybe it's just because it's too small of a crew to really separate and then separate again. Because if you got to send out a team to actually go investigate the planet...
Yeah, because they sent 3 outside.
Yes.
That would leave only 1 inside if
they had broken up.
2 up top. But if you leave 1 up top, that still leaves 2 in the ship.
Or especially leave Ash up in space. Yeah. Or leave him to be the man on the planet inside the ship.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know.
That wouldn't have been good either.
Yeah.
Put man in quotes.
Right. Let's see.
So yeah, that was number 2 for me.
Okay. Mine is like a holy shit moment. Just seeing the alien craft. And especially having seen Prometheus relatively recently. I think I watched it like sometime in January.
Oh, okay.
So, and that I had only seen it the one time. So, it was I got a real charge out of seeing that ship, and then once they go inside of it, revealing the the pilot, the space jockey. I really dug seeing all of that alien lore, that these movies have built up. So that was really cool. I think it worked better having seen Prometheus. Because I remember seeing Alien for the first time way before before Prometheus was even a thing. And I don't think I had that same impact of seeing the inside of that alien ship. I mean, design-wise is beautiful. I love the design, but I think now, having seen Prometheus, it actually works better as a reveal seeing the ship.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. It was like having some inside knowledge as to what they were exploring.
Well, and they were able to match up the ending of Prometheus, exactly where they find everything. It's with
that big ass alien in the chair, like with the gun or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Was it
a gun?
I think it was more like a telescope. That's kind of how what he's seeing. And
I don't know.
I'd like to watch Prometheus again.
I haven't
now
seen
having
it in years.
seen Alien.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch Prometheus again just to see.
Like in chronological order as far as the storyline.
Kind of.
So, aren't they making another Prometheus?
I think so.
But
or they're making
different?
they're making another Alien movie.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily
Alien. Not Resurgence, maybe Resurgence. I think
there's a lot. There's like Alien Resurrection. I learned searching for Alien online that there's a lot of Alien.
Yeah, there's the trilogy, and then they did Resurrection, and then
the AVPs.
Yeah, then you get
Prometheus. I was like, ooh, geez.
I actually really liked AVP.
Yeah,
I saw the sequel, and it was just okay.
I never saw the sequel.
Then they had the Predators, which was the Predator movie that came out a couple years ago.
The dude from the piano. Right?
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
That one's decent.
Yeah, it's all right. Adrian Brody's voice was weird, but it was a very Christian Bale, deep voiced.
Oh yeah,
He was
being the
tougher
gruff,
than he really is.
Yeah, I remember Lawrence Fishburne played a real weird hermit that was on the planet.
He was all alone and things got
a little
strange.
crazy.
He's like the Russian cosmonaut in Armageddon.
Let's see.
So let's see. We're
got
at
another point
3.
Yeah.
I'd say I liked this part where he finds the eggs in the mist.
Yes.
And he he touches it, which I'm like, whoa, what the hell?
Right.
And then you could see he casts a light inside, and you could see inside the egg.
Yeah.
And it's twitching and moving, and I'm like, okay, I would have been out of there in 5 seconds.
I know.
And then it pops open. It's the sequence was perfect.
Yeah.
And then it just jumps out and crashes into his helmet, and you don't know what happened.
Right.
And that's what I liked. That you're like, okay, because having not seen it, I was like, did he swallow it?
Okay.
I didn't even know about the face hugging.
Okay.
So I was thinking, it was going to be what's that movie, The Thing?
Okay.
Where you don't know somebody's got it.
Yeah.
Because it's inside them already.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going that route.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that because that sort of leads into the face hugger reveal.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Okay. No, that's
and I thought that sequence was awesome.
That's good that worked. Worked on you at that level.
Yeah.
My next or my third point is basically kind of the same thing, but just more on the production design aspect of it. Have you heard of H.R. Giger?
I've heard Geiger, I think.
I guess it could be pronounced either way. H.R. Geiger, H.R. Giger. Swiss German artist who did all the production design. So he did he had a very biomechanical alien influence in all of his work, beyond Alien. Did some just really amazing stuff. But he came on, did the design for the alien, the ship, that's why everything inside, it's a lot of everything feels like rib cages, and esophagus tubes and that kind of stuff throughout the entire alien design. Everything from down to the eggs, he designed those, and it's funny in his original concept was the opening was much more of like a vagina, and they had to the production told him like, no, this is a little too much. And so what he did was he snuck some of those elements into other aspects of it, like the facehugger, when they see the other side of the facehugger, the inside, the fleshy parts, that's more, he kind of snuck that in there a little bit more. So just his production design over the entire movie is amazing. The look of the facehugger is one of the scariest movie creatures ever. Because to me, it's like it mixes elements of like a spider with those legs, and then it's got this weird tail that wraps around your throat, and it's so creepy.
Yeah, and I think I thought immediately on the tail of Independence Day.
Yeah. I think that's probably a homage, I guess, or kind of a nod to that, yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out when he was explaining what was going on, is part of the tail also down his throat?
I got the sense that...
Because I know something's down the throat. But
something like from the inside. Like it's essentially, I think...
It's the part that breaks off, you think? Like from underneath?
I don't know if anything broke off, but I think like it sent something down. Like it basically put a probe down his throat, releasing an egg.
Okay, I was thinking it like broke off, and that's what you get from the chest burster. And that's why it looks so raw underneath. Right. Like it was like missing a part of itself.
Oh, maybe.
I was just trying to piece it together and like figure out how...
The biology of the
thing. Because he kept saying it was feeding him oxygen, so I assumed a tube.
Oh, okay. I think just because it was like it completely enclosed or covered the mouth, that it was able to...
Because it looked like
keep the host alive.
It looked like a crab and a stingray kind of.
Kind of, yeah. What are those called? Horseshoe crabs?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to figure out that tail part.
Okay. Yeah, I think the tail just came off the end, wrapped around the throat, but then inside it had like a probably think of like a butterfly, the proboscis or whatever, that like it unrolls its snout or whatever. Or it's technically like a nose, but then it retracts it then when it comes off. I don't know.
See, I have now having seen this.
Yeah.
I question the doctor's explanation of what's going on.
Okay.
Because he has his own motives.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's lying when he's saying, "Oh, I think it's feeding him oxygen."
Okay.
That could be, "Oh, it's impregnating him."
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it is. Yeah. I do wonder what he actually knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it got down his throat?
I would suggest it's feeding him oxygen.
Paralyzes him, puts him in a coma. And keeps him alive. Now, what the hell is that? Oh, we gotta get it off him.
Just a minute. I mean, let's not be too hasty. We don't know anything about it. Now, we're assuming it's feeding him oxygen. If we remove it, could kill him.
I'm willing to take that chance. Just cut it off him now.
You take the responsibility?
Yes, I'll take the responsibility now. Get him out of it.
Because, the entire time, Ash is just strange. Like, he's not...
Yeah.
And, I mean, if okay, speaking of that, when did you figure out what he was?
Not until his head got knocked off.
Okay.
At first, I thought he was he was like somehow infected by the alien.
Okay.
Because I swear when they showed like the milk sweat, I thought I heard a sizzle, so I thought it was that acid blood.
Yeah.
So it threw me off instantly because I thought I heard sizzle, but it was probably like steam from somewhere.
Else, yeah.
But at no point did I think he was like a robot like in Prometheus.
Because he's not. He doesn't play it the same way that David, from Prometheus. Yeah, it's.
So yeah, that part I was like, oh, okay. He's like the Prometheus robot.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, just one more little point on H.R. Geiger. There's a great Netflix documentary. It's called Dark Star. It's just a documentary about him and kind of his life, and it goes into a lot of the influence on the artwork that he did for Alien and stuff. So I highly recommend. It's called Dark Star. And I think it's still on Netflix, so check it out.
Cool.
So I think that's kind of the end of Act 1, unless you got anything else. Kind of ends with the facehugger has, wrapped itself onto Kane. They've taken him on board. I do like that Ripley didn't want to let them on board. She was
we didn't get
following
to that, and right there
rules. Yeah,
he just opened the door. And I was like, "What the
weird?"
hell's going
yeah.
on? Well, that whole thing kind of. I'll get to it later, but we'll just get into the next act. I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. Let me see.
So we're saying Act 2 is the awakening or the death of the facehugger.
Yeah.
And then the revelation of Ash
at the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first point is for me the chest burster doesn't hold up that well. It's a great moment leading up to it. I love they don't know what's going on. John Hurt plays it really well with he's eating and everything's fine, and then he just subtly kind of has these little ticks, you
think he's choking.
Yeah. And then he just flips out. Starts writhing in pain, and they don't know what's going on. And then the chest burster actually popping out of the shirt is awesome. Mm-hmm. The only part that doesn't hold up for me is when it runs off the table like that. I can just tell that it's a puppet just going straight across the table. Effects wise, that just doesn't hold up.
I don't think they needed to show as much as they showed.
Okay,
they could have gotten away with cutting at a certain point. Maybe just cut to it moving.
Yes,
and then cut to it getting out of shot. Not show the whole sequence.
Yeah,
because it probably would have been better.
Yeah, but the lead up to that, I like the blood spray. The blood, yeah.
And it came up in the shirt, it didn't break through instantly.
Right, I like
that. It struggled to get out, almost like he was an egg.
Pop a blood under the shirt, like a squib going off. So that...
Because he was essentially hatching from a human.
Yeah.
So it's like the egg, so it's not instantaneous burst out. It's more of a gradual...
it's tearing through his body to get out, which is creepy as hell. I mean, I think we've all had those little nightmares or whatever of the chest burster having something inside you. I don't know if it's just really effective as a.
Sorry, ladies that have babies right now in your belly.
Oh yeah. I guess it makes me think of The Fly. Doesn't she give birth to a?
Yes, a fly baby.
Fly baby thing.
It's like a larva.
Yeah.
So if you're pregnant and listening to us, apologies.
Sorry.
You're going to have nightmares now.
Yeah. So what do you got? What's your first point for Act 2?
Oh, man. The lack of just caution.
Okay.
They're poking crap that has acid blood, and they're not wearing any protection.
Yep.
Even the dead crab facehugger thing, they're poking at it.
Box.
Where's the goggles, buddy?
Yeah.
And the fact that they just, okay, I guess he's better now.
Right.
I mean, you just had something inside of you. They knew there was something feeding you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you keep him quarantined until you knew more? I know they were all listening to Ash because he's the science officer, but we all know that he can't be trusted because he let him in broke protocol.
Yeah. We know that.
Well, no, they know that too because he broke.
But they don't know that he's got motives.
No, but I mean, if I was the crew, I wouldn't trust him after that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably on his side because he helped save one of their own.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he broke the major rule of quarantine. I mean, that should be common sense in space exploration when dealing with even traveling in the on Earth. You have to go through customs and not bring in foreign objects into countries.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how I viewed that. Was you gotta make sure you're not bringing any disease or some kind of thing into another ecosystem.
Yeah, it seems like you could have left Kane outside the ship and let the other two, inside. But
after he's magically awake and the thing died off, It was just seemed like a weird lack of
precaution. I agree. I noticed when they're going, Kane is laying on the table, the facehugger has left the body, and they leave the door open for like ever.
Yes.
And this is when I thought we were going to see the facehugger scurry out of the room, because I think I was remembering the chestburster scurrying across the table, and I think just in my head I had, crossed those two.
And it was good tension because they had their little light sticks they were poking around, but I didn't understand why the facehugger was up in the ceiling and then fell on her.
Maybe because when it left the body, it just like rocketed off, like jumped.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird that it didn't just die, like it fluff off.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
know it's more
for
of a
tension.
spook.
Yeah, it needs to be.
It was just odd to be
scary.
That it dies and jumps into the ceiling. But yeah, it was the lack of care they took.
Yeah. With
a creepy ass
thing
on somebody's face.
Right.
I mean, I would have been a lot. That and I remember the Ash leaving, so the guy was on his own, like just in that.
Yeah.
With the thing on his face, like it's weird that they left him alone.
Yeah, I guess they just knew that once they cut into it, they knew they couldn't cut it off. Because it was wrapped around its throat. They knew they couldn't cut the tail off because of the acid blood. Which the acid blood is something I actually forgot.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And it's just a great, it's a great concept because then you can't shoot this thing, you can't cut it off, you can't,
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna like freeze it off, maybe drop the temperature.
Like, why aren't we freezing that thing?
Yeah, maybe that's just because of you can't freeze Kane. It's I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean they do get the flamethrower later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have picked like some kind of freeze gun, like shooting. Maybe just don't have that technology on the ship, but
maybe
like sort of whatchamacallit. What's that smoky ice crap?
Oh, dry ice?
Yeah, kind of like a dry ice gun or something.
Yeah, some kind of coolant.
Yeah, coolant, if anything.
Yeah.
Which
they use later in the ship, at the end.
It's just weird that they'd go straight to fire, because it seems like a bad idea in space.
Yeah. I thought that too. Like, you got an open flame in a spaceship.
Yeah.
That did seem weird.
And I wouldn't think it would work on it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this thing was pretty good in harsh environments, so I didn't think cold or heat would really work against it.
Right.
Because I remember, like, thinking, okay, it's survived out in that planet forever. Yeah. And maybe when it's small enough, you could do that, but once it's, like, full-on double mouth...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about the alien, really.
Sure.
On that stage.
Yeah. I imagine because it's at this point, it's still, like, almost white in color. I think that's because it hasn't, like, developed a hard outer, exoskeleton kind of shell. Or I think of it like a baby scorpion is, like, white when it's born. And then they develop a hard black, hard
I like that.
shell.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was mine. Point 2 for you, I guess.
Okay. I think the showing, once they're searching for it, I think it's Brett, finds the skin. I think it's a really awesome way to show that it's quickly growing in size.
I mean, quick.
But it's just, to me, it makes a lot of sense because it's like, how does this thing get so big so fast? But it's like, clearly it's growing.
Yeah, and it's like, after talking with you about Doomsday, it makes me think of Doomsday because it's like the perfect adaptable killing machine, and it's been through all these iterations of itself.
Yeah.
So it's part of the evolution is that it grows at an exponential rate,
sure,
rather quickly.
Okay.
So I sort of thought of it as in Doomsday.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I didn't think about that until you mentioned how Doomsday was sort of forged.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like that. It's sort of like sort of like a snake, but accelerated
its skin, or molting its whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's a part a little bit later. Parker and Ripley They say something once Brett gets killed. They say this thing's huge, but they don't ever show that they've seen it. So I don't know how they know how big it is unless they found a skin as well, or found the same skin.
Took that to mean that based on how he was killed, it's huge.
But did they find his body?
That's
the weird thing.
Because it could take away his body. It must be huge.
I guess
that's how I.
For me, that was just a weird. It didn't make sense.
They didn't need to say it, but I was assuming that's why they were saying it.
Yeah,
because it was big enough to haul off a grown man.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was weird that they said it was huge.
Yeah, as if they had seen it with their own eyes. So that was just one part about the size or the way it's growing that. I liked the skin part. I didn't like that that they reference having seen it or whatever without us knowing, how they saw it. Or
let's see. My next one is the that's a trope.
Okay.
that Scream touches on. Why do they keep splitting up?
Yeah.
I mean, even when they're down to 3, they do this.
Yeah.
It's just like that, and it's like, I knew from the point that Alien got out that it was going to be a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
And that goddamn cat.
Oh. Yeah.
Just reinforced the fact that I don't like cats. And it was creepy as hell when it watched the alien kill that guy.
Yeah.
And it was just
like, yeah.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah. At first, I was like, wait. We have the technology to have a cat in its own little cryo chamber. How does it hibernate?
And it did.
And it did. She put it in there later. That part was weird to me. Let's see. So that was your third point or second point? Okay.
This will be your third?
Yeah.
And I don't really have a third one, really.
Mine is just going to be Ash. We learned that he has motives. The company gave him a directive to, essentially, their entire mission was leading to this planet. Or did they receive instructions on the way? I'm not really clear on that.
Could have been why Mother woke him up.
Yeah. Mother woke them up because
the company told them to.
The company sent them new objectives to investigate this planet, specifically bring back one of these aliens. Now, I don't know, was the goal to bring back... I don't think the goal was to have the alien, implant itself into a crew member and bring it back that way. I'm guessing bring back an egg was the point.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It would be less stressful.
Yeah. But
Ripley's trying to figure out what's going on because she's now got access to Mother.
Right.
Because
she's getting pieces of the message.
Dallas, Houston. What's his name?
Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas. And it was a Texas city.
Tex.
Because he bites it in the Great Search.
Yeah, that bugged me too. It's just another off-screen death that,
I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
But she's searching, and it leads to a weird, cheap scare where she's searching and has to type in override codes because it's not letting her see the information that the science officer only has at this objective.
Yeah.
And then she finally gets it, and then he's right there next to her.
Yeah.
Even though he would have had to get through a airlock door that would have made a noise, but he's just sitting there, and that right there where he's just sitting there. Yeah. It's like, ooh, that dude's creepy as hell.
Yeah, I like that once we kind of learn that Ash is kind of a bad guy, that once we know that, then it ramps up real fast.
Oh, yeah.
He becomes, just the way he treats Ripley escalates really quick.
Yeah.
So I like that Ash was added as a secondary threat for the movie, for the second act.
Yeah. That sort of leads into Act 3. I didn't really have a third part for that wouldn't be redundant.
Okay.
And that leads us nicely into the third act.
Yeah.
So for that, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I didn't exactly know what was going on with him.
Yeah.
He started milk sweating for some reason. I don't quite get. Did he?
I
get
think it's
hit by
silicone
something?
blood. I don't think it's milk. We see him drinking milk, or
Yeah.
what looks like milk, and then his sweat is also milky white. But I think it's silicone.
Okay.
I think his body runs on.
Because I was trying to
He's
figure out
always bleeding.
why it was showing
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
and not any other time.
Yeah.
Is it because he was exerting himself? And
Maybe, yeah.
Then it
That's
started,
not clear.
'cause at first I thought it was acid.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I thought he was somehow
Right.
connected with the alien
Okay.
in some weird way, like he was a mixture of the
Yeah.
two. Because I thought I heard a hiss like acid hitting
Right.
the ground, but
Right.
obviously I was wrong.
Yeah.
But he starts throwing Ripley around like a rag doll.
I know.
And I love that fight scene.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
When he starts spinning around like a top, like once I think Parker kind of hits him.
Yeah, and then she like knocks his head and it like bends. And,
I know, it's like,
I was like,
crooks to the
awesome,
side.
but his body's still like.
yeah. I
Yeah.
thought the effects of making, because once the head is knocked over, it's clearly like a puppet.
Yeah.
But it does still, the arms still move
Yeah, it's-
pretty well. Like it's a.
It's still cool, and that's when I was like, oh, robot.
Yeah.
What was your special order?
You read it. I thought it was clear.
What was it?
Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded.
Damn company. What about our lives, you son of a bitch?
I repeat, all other priorities are rescinded.
How do we kill it, Ash? There's gotta be a way of killing it. How? How do we do it?
You can't.
And I like because I remember those little those little balls that are inside of him.
Oh, yeah.
I
it's
remember
all-
it from Prometheus.
Okay.
Like how the other.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I did because I've remembered that look before.
I don't remember.
So I'm assuming that was in the Prometheus David.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that. And if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I thought I've seen those like little sort of interconnected orbs with
Yeah, yeah.
like wiring before.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
And
Now
I thought it
remember.
was from Prometheus.
Yeah, might be.
But yeah, I like that whole fight sequence.
Cool.
Because it's just the three of them. It's maintenance man,
Yeah, Parker.
Parker,
Lambert is the other
Lambert's
woman.
the other lady. And I was like, at first I was like, ooh, I bet he's like, I'm liking these ads.
All right.
It's kind of nice to have the survivors being two women and one guy instead of the other way around.
Well, I was reading this morning. They came up with character names. It was like Dallas, Parker, Brett, Kane, Lambert, and Ripley. I think that's all 6 of them. I guess not counting Ash, but they were just all blast names, and they said that they were gender non-specific.
Cool.
These characters could have been male, female, doesn't matter, which is kind of cool. That it wasn't okay. We're gonna have the captain, who's a guy, and then we're gonna have the leading lady. It was just kind of random as far as who they cast for which part. It was totally irrelevant. So that was kind of cool. I don't know. That wasn't really a point. It was just something I read
Side
this
note,
morning.
yeah. So what you got?
I got the once Ripley sets the auto destruct, it's a little hard to understand what her plan was because it's like she sets the auto destruct sequence, and then I think she's on her path to the shuttle, which then gets blocked by the alien.
Yep.
And then she goes back to try to cancel the auto destruct.
Yeah, I didn't understand
But
that
I don't
either.
know why, I don't know what her plan was aside from get to the shuttle.
That's what I thought it was. It was just getting the shuttle, blow it up with the alien.
Yeah.
But if it didn't work, I thought she was content to... I thought her mission in this was to blow up the alien and the ship.
Yeah.
Whether she got to the escape shuttle or not didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be, set in stone. It's going to explode.
Sure.
And the whole going back and trying to stop it and her getting pissed off was like...
I didn't understand. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You don't want to die, but I thought she was set
survival instinct versus
what your head is telling you. I guess. But I thought she was already resolute in her plan to blow it up. So it was weird that she flip flopped on that, and that she thought she could change it in time.
Yeah,
because she took her sweet time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that.
Okay.
I have one point in this thing.
Okay.
They split up.
Yep.
They're getting coolant or whatever to get the oxygen enough.
Yeah.
For 3 people, I guess.
Okay. I I didn't really follow that either.
Yeah, it's something to help with the air, I think. I don't know if it runs off of these tanks or what the deal is. But they're all doing that, being holy shit noisy about it.
Yes. Throwing those tanks around and making all kinds of noise,
Yeah. And meanwhile, Ripley is off searching for that damn cat again.
Oh, I know.
And I wrote down, fucking cat, just blow it up with the alien.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the alien and the cat are one and the same. The cat is working with the alien, distracting Ripley, while the alien kills the other 2 off.
Yeah.
I'm convinced to this day.
Nice.
That cat is in cahoots with that alien.
Yeah.
They had a bonding moment when it killed that guy.
They did. They saw into each other's eyes, and they were...
Cat's like, I got a new master.
Yeah.
So, that was my second point.
Okay.
Fucking cats.
Fucking cats. The end, kind of like, once Parker and Lambert are dead, and Ripley...
They go out lame.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least Lambert had it was a horrifying moment when, like, the tail is, like, creeping up behind her. Like, that was really creepy.
Yeah, I thought it was going to try to implant something.
I thought it was going to stab her, and then I think in another Alien movie, it, like, stabs somebody and the tail lifts the person up. So I thought that was going to happen here, but it's a super creepy death. But the other, like, Parker's death is basically off screen again, like most of the other deaths, and... so that was a little lame, but...
I did like the effect, the alien mouth.
See, for me, it was just like, I want to see it. Like, I want to see a little more clear, with the lights strobing on and off, and, I love the design of the alien. I love the mouth, the secondary mouth.
The metallic, mouth that comes out of the main mouth, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was slow and, like, menacing.
But then it just, like, shoots out real quick.
But knowing how old this movie is, I was like, okay, I'm not going to expect to see it in action.
Yeah.
Because it would be too difficult to pull off, and I'd rather not see them try and fail.
Yeah. I think it's like... With Jaws, the shark didn't work, so not seeing it was creepier than seeing it because they couldn't show the shark that much.
I think it lets you use your imagination as to how it should look.
Yeah.
Because you're already going to be judging it based off of that. You're like, okay, it should snap in real quick, bite, and pull away.
Yeah.
Or latch on.
Yeah.
And then if you don't... Because I think it would have looked odd and mechanical.
Yeah.
If it did that and, like, attached to, like, a dummy face or some kind of thing and then ripped out.
I think what I would have liked is if they would have shown, because I think what it was doing was it was ripping out their throats. It was jutting forward, ripping out their throat. And I think show us one of the victims with the throat ripped out, just to show us like, okay, that's how it's killing everyone. You know?
I don't know if that was too graphic
Could
for
have
people
been.
or
probably.
what the deal was, but
probably.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It was like they went a notch above of what was his name, Lockjaw or whatever the guy from Bond with the teeth.
Oh, Jaws.
Jaws, yeah. Yeah. And not showing anything.
Sure.
It was just like him
about to make out with their
give
neck.
Him a hickey, but they don't show any aftermath. The person just dies instantly.
Yeah.
So it's a step up from that, or at least there's blood.
Yeah.
And then you get to see the mouth coming at him, but it doesn't go all the way to showing like visceral, ripping or like the aftermath yet. So I'm not as off put by that as you seem to be. So. Yeah. All right.
I think that was my third point.
Okay.
I don't remember where we are at point-wise, but...
Yeah. I was kind of thrown off by why the alien was hiding where it was hiding.
I think
I didn't understand that.
The way I took it was the coolant that was leaking all over the ship had slowed down the alien enough that it was, because it was very lethargic at that point. Like,
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. It's like it's wounded or hibernating.
I think it was just hiding because it was
just trying to stow away to get to her.
Well, see, and I don't think it had motives like that. I don't think it planned to sneak up on her like that. I think it was affected by the coolant, so its instinct was ball itself up, find a hiding spot in order to almost cocoon itself until the threat of the coolant had gone away.
Okay.
I think it was a defense mechanism of just, like, you've seen, like, if you kind of, try to take out a spider, it'll just, like, pull itself all together, hide in a corner, and just freeze, like once you kind of hit it or whatever. It's kind of morbid to talk about,
Travis.
Yeah.
Spider Hunter.
Spider Slayer.
Spider Slayer. Ooh.
That's my nickname.
Spider Slayer and Ruiner.
That's right. Coming at you. So I think that was a defense mechanism of hiding, and then it's awesome when it slowly, like, unwraps itself from because you can't tell what's coolant tubes and what's ship.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it. I mean, it's right in front of her face. The head, it's like right in front of her face, and then part of the arm, I think, was also right in front of her face.
I think she touches the hand.
I think so.
And finally, somebody gets into a suit and fights this thing.
Yeah.
But man, that death sequence was elaborate.
Yeah.
How? It was like. It was like what is it, Rube Goldberg or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, getting into the suit and
then like undoing the airlock.
Yeah,
shooting it with the
strapping herself in.
Shooting it with the bat grappling hook.
Yeah, a harpoon in space.
I thought it was a bolt gun at first.
It's a space harpoon,
but and then it like got caught as the door closed. So
I like that it like caught itself.
Like I think the gun part got caught in the door.
Oh yeah.
When it closed,
tether it in,
because I thought it was going to be just shot out into space, and then it got fried up in the engine.
Like, as if she planned it.
Yeah, I know. So it made it seem a lot more elaborate than I think it was meant to be. Yeah. So I was like, damn, she really did it right.
Yeah,
but
I do like though that the end is. You think she's on the shuttle by herself,
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's still with her. And
the whole time I was like, that fucking cat's got a baby alien in it.
Oh, that would have been great.
It's going to come out with whiskers.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things that whatever host the alien implants itself in, it takes on some of their biology.
Yeah, it like takes anything that would help it would take.
Yeah.
Like it took, I think
like in Predator, it had like a Predator-alien hybrid.
Yeah. Because it did.
So it'd be cool. What if it did implant itself in a cat?
I think it would get wicked eye vision.
Yeah.
Like those creepy cat eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be scary with it. Because, wait, does it even have eyes?
No.
Okay.
The original design for it looked like a human skull with the big back, the big head.
But this
piece.
was just...
And I think if you look at photos of the actual alien, the suit that the guy wore, with the right lighting, you can tell that they've got like almost a clear
kind of like a
skin over the top, but you can tell that there is a skull underneath it, almost a human skull, because it's got like the big hollow eyes.
Because I'm trying to remember Prometheus, and I thought they were more like almost amphibian-like, squid-like, and then they get more human-like as they host into the Prometheus people. They get the more humanoid look. So with a cat, maybe they get extra lives.
There you go.
Or they always land on their feet.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Acid blood, extra lives, and the reflexes.
Or maybe they purr.
Oh.
That'd be creepy.
Oh, man.
Because then they could have a noise like the Predator has.
I think I just want to see every animal being a host for an alien. Like, what about a horse that gets, an alien? You'd have this big, huge, Fast,
yeah. Like, and then the humanoid aliens ride those.
Oh, man.
Alien horses.
Or be like a centaur.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think I just want to see every animal species as a alien host.
Oh, you know, be terrifying. A shark. Like a pterodactyl alien.
Ooh,
you know, like
alien
flying through
wings.
the air. Yeah.
Yes. I'm surprised they didn't do that in any of the
That'd be cool.
Alien Predator. Like,
they could have Shark Alien versus Jaws.
Man. All right, Sci-Fi Channel. We gotta.
It'd be like Deep Blue Sea.
Story for you. Yeah.
There's endless possibilities with genetic splicing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting how it evolves by its host.
Mm-hmm. I like cool. that concept. So
yeah. That was that's the end of it.
Yeah.
I think that was a lot more quick and to the point.
I like that a lot better. Yeah.
And hopefully you guys did too.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that let us know if what you think, because I think we're going to try and keep the format like this, where we're trying to stick closer to 3 points per act.
Yeah, we'll tangent off every now and then.
Yeah, of course, but rather than try and recap the entire movie
So we can get into the heroic and villainous-ish.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah. What do you got for most heroic?
I'm gonna go with Parker trying to save what's her face at the end.
Oh, Lambert.
Okay. Because she was frozen, pretty much a terror.
Yeah.
And he had his flame throwing gun, and I could tell he was trying to do right and save her, but it was kind of. He knew he wasn't going to do it, but he tried anyway.
Sure.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
Right on. I actually had Ripley saving the cat. Like, she actually went back to get the cat. Now, it was dumb.
Yeah, if I had
I'm not saying that
moment.
it's not, but
I knew that cat was going to scare her.
Yeah. I mean, she ultimately, she went back specifically for it. So I thought that was in the midst of what was going on. It was... The other one I was kind of thinking was her trying to keep them out of getting back on the ship with the quarantine. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
It was, she was right that, so.
That was an attempt at a heroic moment to deny entrance, even though they're her people.
But even in the moment when you have you don't know what's going on with your crewmate, he's got this weird thing on his face, like the desire to, like, we just need to get him on board and get him in the infirmary, like that. It'd be hard to shut out your crewmates.
Nope.
Not for Patrick.
No.
Not for the ruiner.
I'd be like, wait, you got a crab on your face?
Right.
I think we'll wait and see how this goes. We'll send the medical supplies out to you.
Yeah.
We'll
send Ash out, who's impervious to,
I was just like, oh, don't let that guy in. Come on, people. Haven't you seen The Thing?
Haven't you seen the... Yeah. Oh, The Thing is so good.
Yeah. But, there wasn't a whole lot of heroics in this movie.
Not really, no.
Everyone was sort of just trying to
survive. Yeah, survival mode. What's most villainous?
I'd say, obviously, hindsight, letting them in.
Okay.
By Ash.
Okay.
Because I didn't agree with it.
Right.
And I was just like...
Totally.
And I knew it was going to lead to worse things, so it's hindsight. That was the worst moment.
Okay.
And the fact that he intentionally did it is truly a villainous moment, because that was his plan all along.
Right. Mine's kind of one step removed from that. It's for me, the most villainous is the company actually sending them, like, we want this alien, because we know they want to weaponize it. It's the Wayland Yutani Corporation, who's like a presence in the other movies as this big faceless, evil corporation.
So they're like Umbrella from Resident Evil.
Yeah. Which I want to say in the next movie we get to meet one of the representatives from the company. It's Paul Reiser.
True evil.
Yeah, he's a weird character in the next movie. Just like, he doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the characters. So that'll be fun to get to that one.
Yeah.
So we kind of already talked about what holds up and doesn't hold up.
There's something I wanted to kind of bring up as a side note.
Okay.
having not seen the next movie,
Okay.
I want to guess
Oh.
based off of just seeing this one.
Nice.
So my theory is either that damn cat's got one in him, we just don't know it yet, or there's another mission that had a similar objective and they succeeded. Because I don't know where the next one starts.
Okay.
So I assume an alien has to get somewhere, or maybe this alien didn't die in space, and I don't think that alien's going to come back, that specific one, because I don't see how.
Sure.
Unless it hitched a ride on another passing vessel in the vast emptiness of space. But I'm assuming there was like another mission with another robot guy.
Okay.
And they succeeded and brought back an alien, and that's where the alien they fight in the next one.
Okay.
But I have no idea because I'm seriously flying
No,
blind.
I like this. I like throwing out theories for the.
Yeah, I'm probably way off because
I wish I could tell you because
are just so.
But I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
So you can all talk and say how stupid I am.
Right.
But when that cat shows up, who's gonna have the last laugh?
Right.
This guy.
I want to say. I think Aliens was 86, so we've got quite a ways before.
Yeah.
Before we're gonna get to that one.
Because the only thing I remember about it is like almost like another refinery vibe, and like an exploration thing. Because they got an exoskeleton suit that I remember.
Okay. Yeah.
That Ripley's fighting the alien while she's in it.
Yeah.
Which seems odd to me now, knowing that they have acid blood. But whatever. Because I don't think that thing is covered by anything. It's open.
Right.
It's just like framework. I don't remember there being a shield around.
It's like big arms and
it's got like claw pinchers or whatever. But
it's like essentially a forklift that you wear.
Yeah. So I don't get that part because I figured she'd get some blood on her since it's not encapsulated.
Well, keep in mind, like if she were to punch it with that suit, assuming that the alien exoskeleton is like a hardened shell.
That's true. It'd be harder to
it's not like they'd be slicing it with a knife.
I thought I remembered claws where it could like cut things off, but maybe
I think they're more like clamps from Futurama. Like they're more like pinching clamps than
cutting
scissors.
Shears. Okay. Yeah, I pictured shears instead of clamps. Okay.
No, I'm excited for you to eventually, get back to Aliens.
Because it's either that or there's some kind of like they got a sample and somehow
like they grow it,
maybe tried to make their own alien. I don't know, because like there may have been something left in the ship.
Sure.
Before the alien got tossed out, he left something behind.
Okay.
Those are my theories.
No, I like it. I really like the idea of predicting what comes next.
I'll probably get to do that more than you, since you seem to have seen most of these.
I've seen a lot of the movies that are on our list. Not all of them. Like I haven't seen Flash Gordon. I haven't seen.
Well, that doesn't have a sequel, though.
That's true. But I mean, before we go to Flash Gordon,
we could do like a predict.
Yeah.
If we haven't seen it, we could be like, okay, this is what I think this movie's about.
I like it.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah. We'll develop that. So we're.
Yeah, I think
we kind of, like I said, we talked about what holds up and doesn't hold up. I mean, most of the effects hold up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
just
some of them aren't pulled off as well. The chest burster
is the only one that once it runs away doesn't hold up.
Well, I didn't like the scale model.
Okay, yeah.
As much as Star Wars, but it wasn't horrible.
I didn't like the auto-destruct explosion at the end.
Holy hell.
Because it was just like a light show.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a more Death Star-style explosion.
Oh, yeah, where you see pieces flying out.
Yeah. So
this was more like evaporated.
Yeah, like, it's a weird glowing, bright light,
I thought Krypton was better.
Yeah, I agree. That's, because that was more like the Death Star.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was like I don't know if they just made like a model and then like set off an explosion from within it, shooting everything out.
I think it was just lights, just an effect of lights.
I meant the Star Wars. And
they built a model, packed it full of
That seemed to work pretty good, but I guess this was more of like a total evaporation kind of.
Yeah.
Supernova-ish kind of
like a star exploding.
Yeah. I remember thinking, "Whoa, overkill."
Yeah. It did seem like, but that ship was like a mile long, or that refinery. So I guess it would take a big.
That, and she got way far away real quick.
Yeah,
because it was like down to 10 seconds, and she was still underneath that thing.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden she's like miles away.
Yeah,
but it's space.
Yeah, and in space, I was trying to come up with a play on the "no one can hear you scream."
In space, you can go as fast as you want.
Yeah. You ready for pros and cons?
Sure.
Let's see. Do you have something else?
Nope.
Okay. We want, I guess, start with pros.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say my pro is just the sort of the eeriness of the feel of the movie. It's the music. It's the dark atmosphere. But at the same time, I sort of con it with the stupid cat and like the whole, like, you know, the rest of the movie once it escapes is going to be a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the cat being there instead of the alien.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it. So like that, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But
prepare yourself for a bunch of
like, whoop, oh no, that's not it. Oop,
sure.
Oh yeah, it is. You're dead.
Yeah.
So it's sort of hand in hand.
Okay.
Both a pro and a con.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. My first pro is kind of also a pro and con, kind of. I'll explain. The first act is one of the best like setups to any movie. Mm-hmm. Like I can, definitely in the movies we've covered, but even just in any movie, just on my own personal, like that first act is, it's beautifully shot. It's the suspension and tension is so strong, you know, and I'm not like a horror movie guy. Like, yeah. I like some horror movies, but this feels like the perfect horror movie. You know, it ends with that face, you know, the face hugger reveal. But even just the landing on the planet, the setup, because we're kind of thrown into this, like, you know, we don't know why there's a crew out in space, but we instantly understand that they're just like a mining team, you know.
Well, I like it because it's sort of like you're waking up with them.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to explain. Yeah, but yeah, for me, that first act is one of the best, you know, acts of any movie like ever.
Yeah, so I can see that. And I'm wondering, is this the first, well, popular anyway, sci-fi horror movie?
I gotta think so. I mean, unless some of those like cheesy 60s, 50s, 60s, like.
But those are more just
horror,
sci-fi, or they're horror, I think.
Like I'm thinking of like the...
Oh, Pod People?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, Invaders from Outer Space or whatever.
I feel like this is the first like mainstream popular one, maybe? Although I don't know how well it did.
When did The Thing come out?
I think that was like 80.
Okay.
Or 81.
Okay.
I want to say.
I think we should add that to the list if it's not already in there.
I'm down.
As long as we're not...
I've actually seen it. Both the old and the new.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is about the first like mainstream, critically acclaimed sci-fi horror
thing. Yeah, because it's a weird genre.
Yeah, it really is.
Like sci-fi and horror coming together.
Yeah.
Okay. Just random thought.
Okay. So, got a second pro?
I'd say that I really... It's kind of stupid, but I like it anyway.
Okay.
Is the spacesuits when they're exploring, because it has like an exhaust port at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Where
it's like venting out
where it's venting
or whatever,
almost
or
carbon dioxide or something.
Yeah.
It's almost like a reverse of like being underwater where the bubbles.
Yeah.
Like ideally you'd have a rebreather where you wouldn't get that. So it's kind of stupid in that sense, but the effect is kind of cool and it makes it more eerie while you're like, you know, they're exploring like space because it's like it almost gives you an underwater feel.
Yeah,
they're almost in like old school diver suits.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Because it's all one piece, connected, and then and then the steam coming out of the top of their helmet. I don't know. I enjoyed that a lot.
Right on.
I just thought it was a cool effect.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but not exactly ideal, but cool to look at.
Oh My second pro, just Ripley. I like that she's intelligent. She's a strong character that I think you think of Ripley as being this badass, like hardened, almost like a Marine.
I think that's the second
because
one.
That comes later.
Yeah.
But in this, she's vulnerable. She gets scared. She's like a normal person, But then she endures, all of this, and then that's how she becomes a, more of a hardened,
I feel like some of
later.
her acting wasn't exactly the greatest.
Okay.
Like when she was yelling at people, I didn't believe it. Like it was sort of just yelling to yell, like it said to in the script.
Right.
Like when she's yelling at
the
Parker.
script had all caps, so she just knew to.
She's like, "Shut up, Parker."
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was something about it. She didn't come up. Maybe it's because I was expecting that tougher.
Okay.
Version
I think it's kind
of
of like when you watch Terminator and you see Sarah Connor.
Yes.
She's not Sarah Connor from
T2.
T2.
Yeah. I think it's that. It's the sequel leaking into the prequel.
Yes. And just your perception of what that character is going to be like. Oh, okay.
Because at that point, I don't believe her to be like the gruff version that she becomes, but she's still like yelling at people, and I'm just like, I don't believe you. So it's kind of a weird feel, and I think more people would probably feel that way having already seen the sequels.
Okay.
Because I think of the shaved head, like badass Ripley, not the 80s hair.
Yeah.
People telling her she's wrong, and she just takes it.
Yeah.
Getting scared by cat version.
Yeah.
But her character was interesting.
Okay.
Because she was trying to do right, but everyone said she was wrong.
Yeah.
She's the only sane person on the ship, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't like the captain at all, Dallas.
He wasn't memorable. He was just, and I think he was just an everyman, just a.
He seemed like a horrible captain.
Yeah.
Like he's
a good mining crew leader than he is a space captain. Because he's not a Han Solo. He's not a Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. He's just he's a grunt. He's a refinery worker.
Gotcha.
I guess, but he's also has to pilot or captain the ship because he's just in charge. So.
Okay.
Third pro?
I'm thinking about this. I'd have to say it's the Ash section.
Okay.
With the revelation. Yeah. To me, not knowing.
Yeah.
It was probably a bigger deal. That whole character and sequence was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Cool. My last pro. I kind of already talked about it a little bit, but H.R. Giger's design, mixed with Ridley Scott's direction, especially in that first act, just seeing the ship, the space jockey, the face hugger, all of that mixed together, all based on his art design is, like I said, check out that documentary, Dark Star.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my pros.
There's something I kind of thought of while we were talking.
Okay.
It's in the exploration first part where he finds the chamber that has the eggs.
Okay.
And he says the mist is reacting.
Yes, I meant to talk about that. Yeah.
And I was confused. I couldn't remember how the mist was somehow related with Prometheus, maybe, or why the mist was reacting.
I think I actually read on IMDb that one of the production designers, I think his name's Ron Cobb or something like that, said that he actually came up with this backstory of all these eggs were laid and they're just meant to be dormant until they feel disturbed. The presence of warmth. So it's like a temperature design. So once a host, is available, then eggs will start to hatch. So,
and that's why only one
Yeah,
probably.
that seems. You'd think that they would all just start, but they might be like linked together. Like maybe they somehow have like a.
Well, they could probably sense multiple people.
That's true.
It's based on heat.
Yeah, it is actually based on proximity of temperature.
So it's some kind of
response
that is linked to the eggs.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was somehow released by the eggs to sort of detect danger or something. I was trying to figure out how it and I couldn't remember if it was mentioned in Prometheus or not. And because he just mentions it and that's all. Like it doesn't really go into detail because he immediately falls and then
right.
Okay,
I love that sequence. Just the finding the eggs. Oh, it's so good.
So we got another pro out of that.
Yeah.
So cons. I'll say the con for me is probably I found the only weak part of the first act. I got really annoyed with the maintenance guys.
Okay.
They seemed super one-dimensional.
Yeah.
They were just griping.
We just want money.
And they want money.
Yeah.
And they want to make things, they say things take this long, but it really only takes this long because they don't want to be hassled. So they just seem like the lazy maintenance guy.
Right, yeah.
It just annoyed me for some reason. I don't know why, but it's probably because they brought money up so often.
Right.
And it just seemed like they were just bitching.
That's a good point. Yeah, and it's a kind of a waste of like you got Harry Dean Stanton, who's this like amazing character actor that really he's just playing himself the same role in every movie almost.
Yeah. So I didn't like that whole like character development on their part at the beginning.
That's fair.
Parker gets some redemption because he stays around longer.
He just happens to be around longer.
So you get to see him sort of change, but as a first sequence of them, I just no thanks.
Yeah,
I was like, I hope you both die quick. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, they're kind of. I think the first two guys that die in Prometheus are kind of the same way. The one that gets essentially the face hugger at the beginning of Prometheus.
Yeah,
those characters are kind of the same. So by now I've probably said the words first act more times than I ever, and that's for a reason because the second and third act don't hold up to what were shown in the first act. I love that first act so much that the second and third they kind of just go along. It becomes a
hide and seek story.
Hide and seek slash, fight for survival. That for me, those acts aren't as strong as that first act. So for me. They don't maintain that tension, I guess, for me, as the first act has. So it's just kind of like it's a sudden roller coaster, up and then it goes down, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I sort of mixed in my other con with that pro involving the cat and the hide and seek. Right. So that's pretty much all I got.
I already talked about the. It's a little hard to follow when she's going to she sets the auto destruct.
Yeah, the whole
and then
sequence is weird.
That I get a little lost, and that's really my only other con. So
okay. So how you want to rate this bad boy? How many alien eggs?
Ooh, I like giving him
how many face huggers?
How many face huggers? I will give. I'm waffling between 4 and 4.5, just because. The first part of this movie is so brilliant, and then it just turns into a standard, fight for survival kind of movie. So, but I've really enjoyed talking about this one, and I'm really excited. I love the alien lore that is established with this movie. Like I said, after seeing Prometheus fairly recently and seeing that ship and then Space Jockey, I absolutely love the way that all kind of ties together. So
it sort of leads to the hard part about judging a movie by itself.
Yeah. I will give this a 4.
That is the same I'm going with.
Okay. You have any overall thoughts?
I had it higher at first, but like you said, I was like, oh great, the cat's gonna jump and scare us a bunch of times, and that part I got tired with, but I enjoyed the struggle and then the reveal of Ash.
Yeah,
that sort of saved the latter half of the movie for me. that there was this mission, and I thought that part could have sort of been stretched out more, because it was sort of like it got revealed that there was a mission.
And at no point do they say, like, we got to prevent this thing from getting to Earth or know, any of that.
It's just, it goes straight from her finding out that there is this secondary mission, but she doesn't exactly know what it is, to then him just telling her what it is.
Right.
So I felt like that part could have been stretched out a little more. I don't know why he started sweating his milk. But I thought that was going to last a bit longer.
Okay.
Like the weird tension, because only she knows that. And the other two don't. So I thought he'd try to play it off like she's losing it. But it just went straight into, okay, it's over. I'm going to tell you everything.
Sure.
But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. It was fun to talk about.
I think what I'm most, like, I really like what this movie's set up, and I'm really excited to watch more Alien movies. Like, that's, I think, I want to see Ripley again. Yeah. Like, I want to see where that character goes.
I know there's one fans hate that, I think it's the third one, maybe.
It's the third one. I don't think anyone remembers the fourth one. I don't think that one's ever like. But the third one, I think, lets a lot of people down because
I know, like,
I don't want to give anything away.
I already know why they're mad about it, so I won't say it.
The beginning,
it sort of negates the end of the second.
So,
see, I know about things. I just haven't seen like the movies like all the way through, or I've seen.
I've only seen Aliens twice, maybe, but that's been years. I've seen Alien 3, I think, once. I've only seen Resurrection once, so I'm really excited because I remember the big, main points, but I don't remember them as a whole, so that would be fun to get to.
All right. So what's next on the docket?
Well, since we're in space, we're gonna stay in space with Moonraker.
Yep. Bond in space.
Space Bond.
Dun, 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 dun.
Get used. I hope you're ready for the sound. Pew 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 pew. Because once Star Wars came out, they were like, "We got to get Bond into space. We've had enough like satellites and space rockets. We need Bond in space."
Does he have a lightsaber that Q makes?
Oh God, that would be. Look here, 007.
We've taken your.
It's called a laser sword.
We've taken your pure sexual energy, otherwise known as the Force.
We've channeled it into this lightsaber.
Much like your schwanz, it looks like it grows as you get excited. Your power increases. Well, it sort of leads into Austin Powers, and he's trying to get his mojo back.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome concept because he loses that and can't be who he is without his mojo. He's not sexy anymore.
I can't wait to get to the Austin Powers movies. They're on our list.
Like the first two are just I love them.
So good.
Third one could do without.
Yeah, it's got a good beginning with the movie that they're making at the beginning when you get the actors playing the characters. I love that. Okay, so
yeah, we'll be back with Moonraker.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to go over aside from just connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're at Real Comic Heroes. Email us realcomicheroes@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the kind of the shorter format, trying to stick to the point by point, instead of like a recap. And let us know what you think of Alien.
Yeah. Smell you later, nerds.
Nice.
I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to insult people as they...
I think so.
At the end.
I think they appreciate it.
From the most exotic locations on Earth, Moonraker will transport you to another world.
Trifle overpowering your sense.
Holly was a warm girl with the right connections.
Could this possibly be the moment for us to pool our resources?
We would be better off working together.
More excitement, more thrills, more spills. And guess who's dropped in for a bite? Jaws is back. From Earth to the most spectacular adventure in space, Moonraker. It's out of this world.
What exactly are you up to here, Drax? Moonraker 1, liftoff.
Moonraker 2, liftoff.
Moonraker 3, liftoff.
Moonraker 4, liftoff.
We have liftoff.
What's that?
An entire city in space.
James Bond and the treacherous Dr. Goodhead. Despite your efforts, my finely wrought dream approaches its fulfillment.